Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Practical Monitoring and Evaluation and Project Planning and Management. So today we are looking at the project life cycle. Under project life cycle, let's first look at what is a project. A project is defined as a sequence of tasks that must be completed to attain a certain outcome. A project can be something you set out to do, an objective set out to do, and you want to achieve it in a certain time frame. It can be either you want to construct your house and you set that I want to construct my house in a time frame of 1 year, so that's a project. Or it can be a development project saying maybe I want to make sure that 50 schools have access to water conservation methods in a period of 2 months, and that is a project. So that's what we mean briefly by a project. So what are the characteristics of a project? First, a project is time bound. It has a start and finish line that I'm going to start this project in January 2023 and it will be ending in December 2023 or any timeline. And two, a project is unique. Every project has its own characteristics. Every project is a one time of activity which is never repeated the same way again. Even when you are going to say that I will do this development intervention in another country, you may find that a country has different conceptual challenges. So you have to do this project. Even if it's similar, it has its own unique characteristics. Be it a wash intervention, this can be a unique project. Be it a house, you can never repeat a house the same way as you constructed the other, and there is still that some uniqueness to a project. A project has boundaries. It operates within a certain constraint of time, money, quality, and functionality. Yeah, so our projects always require the time, the resources, the quality you're going to give them, and the functionality. Yeah, that is it about the characteristics of a project. Yeah, as today I mentioned earlier, we are looking at the project cycle phases. The project cycle and its phases. First, the project cycle has 4 phases. One is the initiation phase, the planning, the execution or implementation, and the closure phase. So first, let's look at the project initiation. So in this stage, in the project life cycle, a project is officially launched and initiated. It's named and a plan is identified for it. Here, goals or objectives of the project are identified. Also, the project contains the risks that the project may have and the shareholders of this project. All these are identified in this stage. And it's at this stage whether the shareholders decide if they really want to commit to the project. So depending on the type of project you have chosen, you have to conduct a feasibility study to identify whether the project you have chosen is really feasible. So let's say it's a warehouse business and that's the project you're setting out to do. You have to do a geographical feasibility, a market feasibility study to see that is this location I've chosen for the project, is it really feasible? Will it work out? Is there a market for this project? Yeah, there are different types of feasibility studies and we'll look into that in my next videos. So keep on tuned and share, subscribe and like to my channel. So once a project is selected and members are committed to it, then the planning phase is the next stage of this project cycle. Yeah. So here a project work plan is done. The team identifies the project tasks and resource requirements and the strategy for producing a certain product or project you've set out to do. This is also called a scope management. Yeah. Scope in terms of time, in terms of resources, in terms of activities. Yeah. Also, the project plan in this planning phase is created outlining the activities, the tasks, dependencies and timeframes. And also a project budget is come up with by the project manager. You as a project manager in this planning phase, you have to come up with a project budget, which provides estimates of costs required for the project, either labor, either equipment, or materials, if it's a construction project, or if it's a development project, the activities, the cost of the activities that you're going to implement, either be it trainings, be it the different projects you're going to implement. So also this project budget is used to monitor and control the cost expenditures during the project implementation. So when you come up with this project budget, you can easily monitor and control your costs during the implementation phase. In this step also, risks management is done, stakeholder identification is done, and quality management is done. But these we shall look into them in more detail in the upcoming videos. So the next stage of the project cycle is the implementation and the execution. So this is when the project plan is put into motion and performs the work of the project. In this stage, it's important to maintain the control and communicate as needed during the implementation. In this stage, the progress of the project is also continuously monitored, and appropriate adjustments are made according to the variances of the original plan. So here you've selected your project, you've planned your project, you're actually implementing the project and seeing it to pass. If it's a development project, I said you're implementing your activities and seeing whether maybe the set out objectives are being achieved. Also monitoring your outputs that they are achieved and the quality, and also monitoring the budget, the implementation phase. If it's either a construction project, I'm going to use these two examples, either a development intervention or a construction project. You're actually maybe constructing your house now. You're seeing the performance at the construction site, the project is progressing, are there any challenges you need to address in this point of time. So that is it about the project implementation. Then in this new project cycle, where there is a monitoring and evaluation phase. The traditional project cycle doesn't include this phase, but in the new monitoring framework, in the new project cycle framework, the monitoring phase is included. So under this phase I had mentioned earlier, still this is under also the implementation. You monitor to see whether you're actually achieving the stated goals, whether there are any challenges hindering the project, and whether there is need for improvement. So under project monitoring and controlling, the key steps you need to look at is in terms of costs and time management. You have to review your timesheets and expenses, record, control, and track against the project budget, timeline, and tasks. Quality management, reviewing your deliverables and ensuring that they meet the defined acceptance criteria. Risk management, you have to monitor, control, and manage and mitigate any potential risk or issues arising to the project. And acceptance management, conducting user acceptance and testing and creating a review system. So in the acceptance management, maybe if your project is producing a product, and maybe if it's a cream or jelly out there, you want to do acceptance management to see that is your product being accepted by the market you're producing it for. Or if it's a development intervention, and maybe it's a wash intervention, and you're constructing these water tanks at schools, you have to check and see, are these water tanks really of use to the schools? Are the schools really accepting this project? Are they really relevant to them? So that is the acceptance management. Then change management. When the project doesn't go as to plan, or managing the change process as the acceptable changes, yeah, that's when you have to do change management. This is still in monitoring and controlling the project. Yeah, so we'll look into that, all these steps more in detail in the next videos. So keep tuned and watch, like, share, and subscribe to all other people interested in monitoring and evaluation that want to learn more about project management. Please share my videos. Then the final phase is the closure. At this point, the project has ended. Yeah, it's at this stage you need to do a post-project review. Yeah, with meeting, discussing. You can do a meeting with your colleagues who have been part of this project. Discuss the strengths and challenges of the project. What have you achieved for the project? Are there any best practices? If it's a development intervention that you can carry forward to other projects. So this is a very variable stage where you are recognizing the project successes and best practices for scaling. Yeah, and any challenges to improve. It helps you to inform you about your next project. Yeah, you identify your successes, any challenges, and where you need to have improved. So that's it today about the project cycle. Thank you very much for listening in. Subscribe, share, and like my videos.